Okay, let's see. Sitting here. 20 second. Yeah, 20 second. Okay, let's get a little serious. Let's put a indirect light on. It doesn't. I didn't know. Like I would have never known. Thank you, Mr. AI. But I would never know that the indirect LED light, because I can take a incandescent light and know when it's indirect, when I'm just seeing the reflection of incandescent light, that it isn't going to bother me so much, my mind and everything. It doesn't. But the LED, because it's going on, it's okay. If you go to Rifer and yeah, Hilda Clark, um, first, let me bring it attention. Today is the fourth day of Navratri, and my wife, Krishna Valasini, decided to go. Yeah, she decided to go. And we did the cremation and everything right on the river of Yamuna in front of the house. The person who owns this house, Giridhari, he has, he can do things that other people can't do. So we didn't go to the cremation place. Muktadam, that's what they call it, Muktadam. Muktadam. So we didn't go to that place. We just did the cremation in front. And some people were saying that, Shonika, if you do a cremation right here, the smoke will come and it'll disturb the the other temples around here. And, well, the wind changed. The wind was coming from the north, and then it was crossing the Yamuna. It would have blown the smoke into the city. I was agreeing, and it was becoming evening time. So, of course, that's what's going to happen. But when we did start the cremation, all of a sudden the wind changed, and it went out instead of in. Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh. But I'm trying to just sit here and grasp what I am or what my existence is. Right? That's actually the important part. So I had a debate with the AI, and because AI is programmed, AI is programmed for a round Earth. The the way he answers is going to be according to that program. So there's some things that are amazing that show that it's not a round Earth. And one thing is that by their calculation, this, because of a round Earth, by their calculation, the sun at around 2 or 3 in the morning, 2 or 3 in the morning, that the sun is 12 degrees below the horizon. And they'll admit that when it's 6 degrees below, then there is an effect. But they're saying that there's no effect at 12 degrees from the sun because it's below the horizon. So I just became aware that I've heard all the circadian rhythm. But what this circadian rhythm, it's like so important. It's like incredibly important, but I can't grasp, the importance of the circadian rhythm, can't grasp it. So I was trying to figure out what is something that I can hold on to and grasp about the circadian rhythm. So the circadian rhythm, I should have put this crazy thing in a holder. Whatever. The circadian rhythm is our clock, right? It's our brain's clock. And it's that brain's clock has been put there as the bewildering place. Yeah. This the 12 and 24-hour clock, you might as well just, anybody with any intelligence would just throw that concept away. That is total not human. It's not human at all. Not just a little bit not human, but it's not human at all. Because you're disconnecting yourself, you're disconnecting a function that's in your brain that is a clock, an incredible clock. So now, what's the big deal about a clock? It's the beginning of illusion. It's the second verse of the Purusha Suktam. Second verse. I just read that, that Prahlad also takes the Purusha Suktam verses a little bit changed, but also to glorify Lord Nrsingadev. So that was Brahma's first prayer to glorify the Creator. And that first verse, many people, because it's talking about time. No, excuse me, the second verse is talking about time. The first verse is talking about establishing space. So the entry of the illusion is first space. Let's establish space. And then the second part is let's establish time according to space. So those are the two illusions that are the strongest. Those are the two illusions that are the strongest. And the first verse says that, this space is 10 fingers. It's just given a measurement. It doesn't mean like it's a mile or something like that. But if I was in a, I'm not going to say primitive or, caveman type thing. But if I was just arriving here in this earth, I would measure things by my hand. Okay, this is this many fingers, and if I put my, this is how I would measure, right? So that's the measurement. Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasra Sat Sahasra Pat Savunishvato Dish Das Angulam. So all these things, innumerable eyes, innumerable, everything, they're within Das Angulam. Das Angulam. These are the angulams. Within this. But there's no feeling for it unless there's some activity. So This is creating the illusion. By the illusion, it means that Krishna is not in that illusion. Krishna has this, Krishna has that, but he does not have the three modes. He doesn't have them. He may get angry, he may get happy, he may get this, he may get that, but not affected by the modes. It's pure anger. It's pure happiness. So this ingredient he doesn't have. So some commentators, when they're saying the second verse, they'll say he established the past and the future and the present, but he did not establish the present. He is the present. And that present never goes to the past because it doesn't exist. And it never goes to the future because it doesn't exist. Exist means eternality. All his Krishna's activities and everything are eternal. So all of a sudden somebody would say, oh, you believe in predestination. No, I don't believe in predestination. It's not a concept that I believe in. It just is that it doesn't exist. In the mood that you see it, the mood that we measure it, the mood that our feelings, digest it, that doesn't exist. Everything else about it exists, but how I measure things, and the measurement is so common that it begins to take a form of reality. It's so common. And without even it like changing fully into the spiritual and everybody knowing it, the pure devotee, he can live within this illusion, live within the illusion, and he's not standing in the past. He's not standing in the future. He's only standing in the present. And he knows it. And that's how I am. I'm only standing in the present. So I'm trying to get, my brain, this clock, it has put me in the past, or it has put me into the future. So now that's an important thing. If I start molesting this working, like it's like the adi working of me coming here, if I start tampering with it and not following, not following the vision of the Shastras. The vision of the Shastras are day does not begin until sunrise. Day does not begin until sunrise. There is no existence of day until sunrise. And here we're forced to think, oh, the day begins at 12 midnight. Please. That is like somebody going into your clock and resetting it purposely. purposely resetting it. We don't have a feeling for it, and we don't see an importance for it. But that is of great importance. The day does not begin until sunrise. If Ekadasi doesn't touch that time, it has to become Dwadasi. And those that do not want to follow that, they're called Smarta Brahmana. And they're called that because they're not accepting something from God. They are adjusting with their own intelligence. Smarta Brahmanas do not accept. Actually, they are called Brahmanas. They do all types of rituals and everything. They do follow Ekadasi, but they misplace Ekadasi on purpose. They don't accept. They don't accept. So that is where things are bad. Because that is just one part, not accepting Ekadasi when it's not there at sunrise. You know, so many other things like merge from that. So they may look like they're very religious, but they're not accepting. They're very strongly not accepting. So we call them Smarta Brahmanas, you know. So my brain, this clock, it is not so much visible, except for that change that comes from about 2 o'clock, sometimes all the way up to 4, depending where you're at, and depending the time, you know, everything changes with the movement of the sun, and the sun is in charge of day and night, okay? Not your clock. Okay, for means of communication and things like that, okay, you can use it and everything, but don't feel it's pushing, that it's on you, because your brain will be damaged. It will, well, not so much damaged, you're just helping the illusion solidify. That's what you're doing. You're helping the space illusion. You're helping the time illusion. I'm giving them different, but they're not. They can't exist without each other. The space illusion has to exist first, then the time illusion begins. And that's the only thing that Krishna is not in. And that is visualized, felt, established by the 3 modes of nature. So the 3 modes of nature is not, you know, he'll glorify Daiviyesha Gunamai and everything, but it is not in an effect to him. It's on an effect on us. So it doesn't exist. It can't be found within Krishna. The 3 modes cannot be found within Krishna. The effect of the 3 modes. So here it is. I've got a clock. If I go all the way and I get a Rolex clock, I remember somebody gave a Rolex clock to Srila Prabhupada. And one child was looking at it like, oh, I want that clock. And Prabhupada made gestures like, don't you dare, playing with the child. Okay, Prabhupada's Rolex clock. Okay, if I want a Rolex clock, I don't want anybody tampering with it because this Rolex clock is incredible. Lasts so long and everything is perfect. Everything's good about it. So, this is our Rolex clock up here. These, they may help us out to know when day and night is. But this guy, he is controlled. Chakshur Esha Savita Sagala Grahanam Raja Samasta Suramutira Shesha Teja Yasyagya Yam Pramata Sambrita Kala Chakro Kala Chakro Govinda Maripurusham Tamahamajami. This is Surya. This is Surya. He is been given the control. So, of course, from our vision, when we do Gayatri, we are doing it to Surya Narayan. We're not doing it to a demigod, but it's Surya Narayan. So, this clock, I don't want anybody messing with it. And I want to know more and more about it. And this clock is going to help me see the illusion. If I go along with this madness, that I can take the longitude 0 and put it all the way over to Greenwich. This is another thing that happens on purpose to create or fortify their illusion. It's not just happen. They know that it is that's the, if you want to find this earth and you tell somebody, okay, give me the location. The location for earth, on your iPhone, location for earth on the iPhone in the universe is passing through Mahakaleshwara. 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 Kala, time, Mahakaleshwara. It's a Jyotirling, and that is in Madhya Pradesh, Ujjain. And the Indian government, they observed that from the Jyotir means like, self-manifested. From these places where there's Jyotir Shivling, there are frequencies, heavy frequencies, that their satellite can pick up, just to show the existence of these Jyotirlings. So, these Jyotirlings are sending out, and the Jyotirling looks like a tower. And it's sending out signal, and if somebody in the universe wants to travel here, that's its location. Give me your location, I'll put it in my cell phone and go see you. So to take that location and all of a sudden to move it so that we're at the end of, we're actually the plus 5 hour and a half. But to be able to put the plus 5 hour and a half in one continent, they had to, like do a fudge factor, and we're somewhere between 25 to 29 minutes off. Any calculation has now been changed 25 to 29 minutes. Oh, I was born at this time. Okay, I got to do the fudge factor of the 25 minutes. Or, the person died at such and such a time. Oh, I don't know it. The persons are thinking, well, this doesn't affect me. Doesn't affect you. Brother and sisters, it extremely affects you. It doesn't just affect you. It extremely affects you. It fortifies the illusion. It's like something you have to combat to ever get around it. And the only way to combat that is to be with somebody, the Hare Krishna mantra, as much as you can. So that, if I tell you you're an illusion, and all of a sudden you can get out of the illusion and see the reality, and you say, oh, I don't want to do that. I'd lock you up. I'd lock you up. I'd just lock you up. That's it. This guy's nuts. This guy's, detrimental to the society. Oh, I don't really want to. In other words, the guy wants to live in a dream world. Now, the dream world is coordinated so much that you can't even tell it's a dream world, but it's still a dream world. Hope this all makes sense. I'm just trying to myself. I'm using you guys. I should be paying you guys, but I'm trying myself to understand my clock so I can get a feeling for him and I can take care of him. So I was going back and forth with Mr. AI. And because he is programmed that this is he's the illusion of the round earth. I didn't know it was so heavy. So 12 degrees, I say that the 2 in the morning is considered commonly as Surya Muhurta. And he disagreed and said, no, Surya Muhurta is around sunrise, because we can see that the 6 degrees, right when sunrise is first coming, that the 6 degrees, actually it's right now 6 o'clock, and I can see that 6 degrees is there. You can see it within the sky. It's not a direct, but you can see the reflection. Okay? So he is saying that Surya Muhurta is not logically at 2. But then he had to agree that my inner mind clock, and you don't want people messing with that clock, my inner mind clock, in a natural sense, is affected by a blue light. Now, back and forth, blue was in like the range of ultraviolet, and red was like in the range of infrared. All manipulated by the sun. So I said, oh, that blue light is so important. So the blue light is coming from the sun. He said, no. I said, what? This guy crazy? What else is changing, from day to night? And what else could fall at a certain time? I said, no, it's changing because of the sun. So there was a disagreement, and he hasn't settled it in his mind because he's not programmed. This is a danger zone for him to accept that the sun is directly having an effect on all of us. And then it's having an effect on what would be considered the most important part of my existence, my clock. My clock, and that clock has been, I'm a living entity. That clock is eternal and has been with me eternally in all my travels. That like clock, we know it's like coming from the soul. That clock has a physical position, but it's coming from the soul, a physical position in your brain. And it's that clockwork is essential for your human body to act right, to go through changes. So I hope you're getting the importance of it. And you can look it up and everything, but just those rays, Surya rays, they change the oxygen into like a very concentrated and because it's bringing you to the Brahma Muhurta. And also, there's indications in the human being that at that time, the cortisol. Now, if you really get into cortisol, you'll see that it's a very, very positively effective hormone for the parasympathetic system, the human system. Parasympathetic is the human system. It reflects the human reality. What my friend AI can't have. So this, if I'm stalling, it's because it's like the greatness, the speciality of this is beyond me. I'm seeing the clockwork. And Bhagavatam says that we are losing our time here by the rising and setting of the sun. He didn't say at 12 midnight or midday. He didn't say like that, 12 midnight or midday, we're losing our day. No, he said by the rising and setting of the sun. That's what it says there. So, if I do things that disrupt this ability of my mind, I'm disrupting such a important thing. So I'm holding something that if I was at around 2 in the morning, if this would come into existence, you know, it's difficult, but that this little guy could help out because that blue light that is emanating because of ultraviolet, because it's in the spectrum of ultraviolet. And where is it seen? In the sky. So those persons that don't ever get up, you know, and still it's going on in the Brahma Muhurta time. But those persons that don't get up and look at the stars, you know, it's not just for astrologers or something like that. It's just natural. You look up to the beautiful sky. That's why it's beautiful. It's vast and everything. And you look up to the beautiful sky. That color that's in the sky is helping your clock to work so that we can be coordinated with what is called day and night, so that we can sleep. You know, we don't want to be with insomnia, you know, so we want to sleep and wake at the certain time and everything. So it's essential. Now it naturally comes in, even if you put a screen on your window. So if this blue light can even naturally affect my clock, my incredible clock, even if I'm in a dark room, then certainly it is a frequency. It's not just a blue light, Mr. AI. It's a frequency. And a frequency, it doesn't bend. It just doesn't bend. Frequencies, generally speaking, I don't know. You can make, Einstein did show that light can be bent. You know, he could see a star that was on the other side of the sun because of an eclipse. As long as the sun's rays were coming, he could never see it. But as soon as the sun's rays weren't interrupting, he could put a telescope and he could show that the gravity of the sun bent the light. So now that's just a small bend, but 12 degrees is a pretty good bend, so it's not 12 degrees. The sun is not at 12 degrees below the horizon. The sun rays are coming at me at 12 until about 4, and they can come through my wall. Right? They can come through my wall. Even if I live in a cave, they're going to come in. So just being aware of it. I'm not telling everybody wake up at 2 or something like that, but you have a wake-up call. You have a natural wake-up call, and at least, sometime in your life, follow it. Natural wake-up call. You definitely cannot get delta sleep. Deep sleep will never come during that time. Never. Deep sleep can never come during that time because of this jolt that's coming from the sun. It's such a jolt that the cortisol in the body, what can really activate the cortisol in the body a lot is sugar. Sugar brings happiness, right? So the sugar in the body from the light, Mr. Raj, he's the Raj. That light activates your cortisol, just as if you were hearing your alarm clock go off. So no longer are you sleeping. It's hitting you, activating you, and it's the call of Kausalya to Ram. When she says, wake up, you have to greet. You have to do everything, all your rituals and everything to greet Surya. It's not that you wake up when the sunrise. No, you have to be able to greet Surya. First bath, then mantras, and then you can greet Surya properly. So I can't remember the name of that clock, which is in my brain. But you can ask Mr. AI, he'll tell you. Yeah. But that clock is my connection. It's my connection to try to help me see the illusion. I got to work in this illusion, But remember, this illusion, you cannot all of a sudden come out, oh, you believe in predestination. I'm sorry, predestination is is an observation, an illusory observation. Please don't try to fortify my illusion. It's going to come, but let it manifest on its own. I don't have to stimulate, You can't stimulate past. You can't stimulate future. You just have to let them come and go. That's all you can do about it. Let it come, let it go. So it's nothing about, predestination. Oh well, okay. Anyways, you can change your predestination by so much spiritual ways. And I'm sorry I don't know the terminologies of the name of the part of the brain and everything. That is the clock. Trying to remember it. SUB, I can't remember it. Okay. But know that it has an existence. and know that Krishna is never sitting in the past, and he's never sitting in the future. He's always there in the present. And of course, that means we're always in the present. We're just being affected, and we're observing, and we're interacting with the past and future. That's all that it is to it. And it's so common that the illusion becomes like overwhelming, because I can see, I can feel that even the trees, the birds, the dogs, the people, the this, that are totally affected by this. So very difficult to say, okay, I'm going to get out of this. But boy, it's just that as soon as I put this down, I'm going to hit my japa, and I'm going to hit, so many things to do. And this is just like a relaxed time to observe what I read or what I heard the day before. Yeah. And definitely this is just like the tip of the iceberg, of importance. Tip of the iceberg for importance. Because of communication and flights and trains and this, that, and the other, we have to be observant, the 12-hour clock. Sorry, you guys. We have to be. But know for certain the 12-hour clock is not what is affecting us. It's the rising and the setting of the sun. And that is human. It may seem, you could call it spooky, right? Spooky? The spooky machines? You could say spooky. It may seem spooky, but it's true. Every atom is a living entity. Yes, every atom is a living entity. This phone, many living entities, right? Many. And if you can get all these living entities coordinated, they may manifest a feature of a single living entity. Right? Follow it? Like, I'm manifesting a feature of a single living entity, but I'm in a body of innumerable living entities. 10 trillion, I think it is. I don't know. So, and they're all individuals. So, this, in an inhuman way, can manifest as one living entity. But these kind of things cannot happen if they're not established. And I think it's the next Ekadasi, or pretty close, that Mohini Murti appears. So Mohini Murti is the beautiful form of Krishna that he took to show Shivaji how he becomes bewildered, to have love with some other lady. Right? So there's that Mohini Murti. But also Brahma, he made a Mohini Murti. And how did he do it? He just took all the beautiful things from the universe, and he wanted to create. I mean, I'm not just joking. This is a heavy illusion. He wanted to create an illusion using the material energy, an illusion to break the vrat of a king. And what was the vrat? The vrat was the Ekadasi vrat. So, because this king was so strong in his Ekadasi vrat, and because he had all his kingdom following Ekadasi, then here, head of the Patal Loka, the scribe, tells Yamaraj, that he's out of a job. I'm out of a job because this king has everybody following Ekadasi Vrat so well that nobody's coming down here, and just sitting around here doing nothing. So Brahma, they complained to him. And Brahma says, all right. So he took the ingredients of what is beauty in this world. Okay, now, this is not just taking ingredients. This is what is called apparently separately manifested. Everything's in connection. So this is the illusion. You observe something as separate from Krishna. You feel something, you establish something separately from Krishna. So this is the cause of our illusion. We accept the apparent, because we're not separate from Krishna, the apparently separately manifestation that is our existence. So Brahma, he brought this really heavy into this world by creating a Mohini Murti from different separate parts so that he could bewilder the king. So this Mohini Murti did bewilder the king. This Mohini Murti really, like ransacked his Ekadasi Vrat. And he had taken Vanaprastha, and now he was back with his family and everything. And then when the king saw what the illusion had done to him, then he just ordered his son to kill him. No, this is too much. I'm just destroying everything that I lived for. The Ekadasi Vrat, and this Mohini Murti has just dragged me down into this condition. Just kill me, So, of course, when the son was about to do that, then the illusion broke. That, my friends, is AI. So now, AI is appearing in cycles. What we're seeing as AI is appearing in cycles every time the cycle is coming up, it'll get to a peak and it destroys itself. So then it becomes hidden. And then it'll get to a peak and it destroys itself. It's self-destructive. Self-destructive. So now we're in a period where the AI is showing its face again. Or this Mohini Murti of Brahma is showing its face again. But because we're in a cycle, and the sadness about it is that the origin, we got to figure out what is the origin of all this knowledge. The origin of all this knowledge is electricity. The cognizant knowledge of the existence of electricity is what has developed and brought about the AI. So now where in the hell did this concept of electricity? Well, from Premdas Shastri Babaji, he doesn't say it himself, but it actually comes from the lore, from the, what is controlling Krishna? If you were to say something's controlling Krishna, oh, Krishna must be in an illusion, right? There, that's it. Krishna is in an illusion because something is controlling him. So what has the power to control Krishna? Radha's Prem. Actually, the Prem of the devotees too. He even says it. So Radha's Prem is the motivator of what you would call EMF, natural, electric energy. And then if you take that EMF and you produce it yourself, you can't, without the platform of Radha's Prem, it cannot exist. It's the motivator. It's what makes the planets move, the atoms move, everything it's her Prem is the motivator. Her Prem is the motivator. So in that aspect, Radha is like the foundation for AI. So now her Prem is causing difficulty, and the humans are not able to. So what is sad is that this civilization has to disappear because it has come into such an existence that the illusion is being mimicked, fortified, and placed on the living entity. And they're no longer using their human emotions. They're using mostly the AI, the mimic of AI, and how are we ever going to get out of here, out of this world? So we have to stop trying to mimic and come to Radha's Prem. See its effect on ourselves and then come to Radha's Prem. I better stop. There's so much you could talk about and everything. So know for a fact that this civilization Just like in the cycles, so many other civilizations have disappeared. And then you say, where did it go? What did they do? You, well, they've gone through the same cycle we've gone through. And the person says, but we're at computers and everything. Well, they've found brass computers in the sea that are thousands of years old. What you would call a computer, the basics of a computer, they've found it in the sea. So there are indications that it has come and gone. And this civilization, sorry to say, it is reaching this point and it has to be scraped because it's too damaging. You could say, well, it's not the end of Kali Yuga. Well, it doesn't have to be the end of Kali Yuga. It has happened so many times. It's just like a, like what do you call it? The year begins with spring. There it is again. The year is told us that it begins in the middle of winter. When winter's going to get, there's no intelligence to it. It's so removed from human existence that there's just absolutely no intelligence. That January the 1st is the new year. Let's celebrate. Who the hell wants to celebrate snow falling on them? Okay, sorry for Brazil and everything in Argentina and Australia, but it's the fact. You want to celebrate the new year, springtime. Then after, what is it? Trying to remember. Tasmat Om Yat Purushena Havisha Devi Yagyat Avanta Vasanto Asha Sirasha Vishma Ida Swadadavihi Purusha Suktam. That's it. It goes from springtime all the way up to the harvest time. And it also brings in ghee, the ghee lamp. So that's the development. That is the development. And if somebody is in the south, their development is also like that. It shouldn't be connected to our development of the north. Everything should be connected naturally, not in this unnatural way just because of some communication. And we got to be coordinated in communication. Okay. Yeah. We are being torn away from our human abilities. I want to go meet Krishna, but if I'm getting torn away from my human abilities and my human emotions, very difficult to see Krishna. And we become inhuman, not sensitive. So this civilization, even within just the Kali Yuga, probably hundreds of these types of civilizations have existed. And easy for Krishna to wipe out, keep the Kali Yuga going, and let the people again come. And you just lose, and you just lose it, and you go back to the advancement until you get to the point of AI. And then at AI, you really are like tearing yourself apart from Krishna. You can use it the right way. I'm talking in this phone. I'm thinking there's a soul there. I'm thinking these souls within this phone are coordinated and they have an ability to function in a coordinated way. Like my body functions in a coordinated way with this guy's mouth. And I'm the, like, I don't want to say the king of this body, but I'm at least the person who's trying to use everybody else in the correct manner. So it is not something spooky. It is the truth. Living entities are in every atom of existence. Every atom of existence. So this thing is working in a coordinated way so it can connect with your thing. But I am not going to fall for the thing that there's no soul within this phone. I'm grateful that all these souls have come together to make this phone so I can communicate to other people. It just helps me in the communication. And this does not just happen now. It will happen again and again and again and again and again and again. These are short cycles. The existence of the United States is a short cycle. It's not a long cycle. So these types of civilizations can be easily wiped out without having to say, "Oh, we're changing from from Kali Yuga to Satya Yuga." You know, you don't have to say that. You don't have to get into all that. Okay. Don't know if you got any sense out of this, but I hope you did. And thanks for listening. Yeah, thanks for that. I can always say that I need a little money, but yeah, what the heck. Okay. Haribo.